Do you think the RBA has smashed household budgets?
The RBA has done the job that it sets out to do, which is to tame inflation without wrecking the economy. Now, unfortunately, the RBA hasn't been assisted by the government that's employed it to do that job. Jim Chalmers handpicked RBA Governor Michelle Bullock has said that our inflation problem is homegrown. Now, what that means is you can't point overseas and blame somebody else for this for inflation, for sticky inflation in Australia. The RBA only has one tool in the shed. That's interest rates. It's been using those interest rates, but now it's got Jim Chalmers and others on the government's front bench saying that it's Michelle Bullock's fault that the economy is tanking. Well, that's not the case.
Well, in that context,
Jim Chalmers was serious about tackling inflation, he would have done so in one of the last three budgets. Instead, he's done the exact opposite.
But we're talking about inflation and growth, and the growth numbers we're going to get out today. It's going to show the economy is certainly slowing down, and a lot of that growth, though, what is keeping us afloat is government spending. So how do you interpret that? Because you want to get inflation down, but you don't want to smash the economy to do so. So what's the quid pro quo?
Actually, the only thing that's keeping growth in the positive territory is the record immigration that we've experienced in the last 2 years. More than 1 million people have come to this country in the last 2 years. If we hadn't have had that record migration, we would already be in recession. In fact, we're in a GDP, per capita recession right now and have been for around 12 months. That's a real concern because it essentially means that your growth is a Ponzi scheme. It's not sustainable.
Ponzi scheme that every single government in recent memory has maintained.
Well, no, if you've got positive growth even with immigration, a per capita GDP positive growth, well, that's not a Ponzi scheme. However, what I would say is that there are better ways to tackle the issue of economic growth. For instance, you can put more energy supply into the system. That sustainably lowers energy costs for businesses. You can unwind that inflexible industrial relations laws that are causing people to not employ others instead of employing more people. You can unravel the red tape and the green tape that we're now seeing around new projects that's stifling business. And you can have lower and simpler and fairer taxes to inject aspiration back into your economy. That doesn't require $315 billion of additional spending from the government. You cannot spend your way out of poor economic management. That's exactly what this government's trying to do. And every day we keep hearing more bright ideas from the backbench that Jim Chalmers clearly can't say no to. And those expansionary budgets are simply making the inflation problem worse.
Jane, thanks so much for your time. We'll see those figures at 11:30.